Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Daily Lessons podcast. This is going to be episode 49. We're about to hit 50 episodes. And today we're going to be talking about two things. But before we get into those two things, make sure to hit that subscribe button for me as well. If you're listening on Spotify, just quickly go over on YouTube. The link is down in the description and just hit that subscribe button for me. It'll take you like 2 or 3 seconds of effort, but it obviously means the world to me. So make sure to go ahead and do that. And now, without further ado, let's get into the episode. The two things that we're going to be talking about today are interconnected, interrelated, and those are dopamine and patience. Now, what exactly is dopamine? Basically, dopamine is the neurotransmitter that makes you happy. It's also a hormone as well. But in particular, we're going to be talking about cheap dopamine. Now, why specifically cheap dopamine and what actually is cheap dopamine? Well, cheap dopamine is just dopamine that comes from cheap and easy sources like junk food, video games, mindless scrolling, and binging TV shows and movies. What exactly what exactly makes that these things are just cheap dopamine? Well, it's basically just that these things provide some type of instant gratification to your nervous system, and that's why we like doing these things so much, right? And that's why we do it so frequently as well. That's why we keep on doom scrolling on TikTok or YouTube, because we get that instant gratification. We get this release of dopamine, which causes us to feel pleasure. And that's why it's so cheap, because it literally takes absolutely no effort. And what actually ends up happening is that we end up frying our neural networks and we become addicted to a lot of these things. And that's one of the reasons why cheap dopamine is so bad for you, because that's also why mindless scrolling is so bad for you, or just binging things, or just eating chips and nachos and junk food in general, because you become so addicted to these things. And these things that we're talking about and discussing right now, these things are designed to be addicted as cheap dopamine, so you can get hooked on it, and obviously so that companies can profit more and more off of it. Now, here is one of the unintended consequences, or I guess it's kind of intended as well, of when we actually consume a lot of cheap dopamine. Like I mentioned, we become addicted to a lot of things, and because of the instant gratification aspect of these things, we start to expect things right away. So in turn, what exactly happens is that we become very impatient. We become very rageful when it comes to us having to wait. And you'll see this a lot in like toddlers, for example. If you take away their iPads, right, there's a reason why that they're so addicted to their iPads and watching these YouTube videos or playing these games, because it gives them that dopamine hit that they're looking for. And once you take that away from them in an unregulated nervous system, which I probably have, and a lot of other people do, if you're addicted to social media, you start to feel angst, you start to feel angry, you start to feel depressed, and you keep on wanting that hit of dopamine that you were getting constantly, right? And that's why we end up hating being patient, or hating waiting as well. Like, it's all just like, oh no, I'm gonna order my food over the phone, or I'm just gonna quickly place an online order so I don't have to wait. Obviously, it's just smart that you do that so you can save yourself some time. But like, imagine if the restaurant is actually making you wait 5 minutes. Even if you had to drive half an hour to the place just to pick up your food, that extra 5 minutes, it feels like forever for us, because we're so wired to hate being patient now, because we're just getting all of our results. We're just getting all this instant gratification, from the cheap dopamine sources that we have ever present and right in front of us, right? Even just within our pockets. So this is really just a disaster for us, because obviously when you want something that's easy, when you want just to be pleased by the instant gratification, you end up hating doing hard things as well. So you're not patient at all, and number two, you also end up hating to do a lot of hard things. So if you're not instantly good at something, you're more prone to just quit that thing. If you're not instantly good at math, you're gonna hate math, and you're not gonna ever try on it because it's not giving you that dopamine release of being correct on your math homework all the time. If you're not good at basketball, then you're gonna quit playing basketball because you're not getting that dopamine hit within your system every single time that you make a basket. And this is detrimental to us as a society, because that just means that not a lot of people are actually going to pursue their passions, pursue their dreams, and pursue the work that they should, especially during those hard times of, before you master your craft. And as soon as the going gets tough, you kind of get going, and that's pretty bad, just on a personal level as well. And look, I'm not attacking any generation. I'm not attacking anybody at all. This is something that I've just noticed about myself. I've noticed about, other people around me. And this is not something that is only applicable to like Gen Z or anything. It's applicable to all generations. We're just addicted to different social media platforms. If you look at the older generations, they're addicted to Facebook, right? I still don't understand how they're addicted to Facebook, but they are. And it's insane to think about, right? And it's completely frying our neural networks as well. Like, I'm telling you, it's bad. And look, just one thing real quick. Life is hard, and to succeed in life, you're going to have to do a lot of hard things. So if you're somebody that's watching this and you know that you suffer from it, because trust me, I know I definitely suffer from just cheap dopamine hits all the time. And it makes my life even harder because I feel like I am just not doing the right things, and I'm not doing the things that I should be doing to get myself to the next level. I'm here with you, man. Like, I'm going through the same exact things. Now, obviously, me personally, as a person, I don't like to talk about problems if I don't present a solution. Now, here is my solution to it, and these are probably some of the easiest fixes that we can make, but it's probably also the hardest as well. So to get rid of your cheap dopamine addiction, and to become a more patient person, and just to train yourself to, kind of get seasoned throughout life and make yourself okay with waiting, essentially, here are some of the things that I think that would really help, because they have helped me. Number one is probably the easiest and hardest thing, is to get off your phone, or at least limit the time that you do spend on your phone. Look, if you have social media apps, limit your time on there. There's plenty of apps out there that limit your time on social media, or just delete the apps from your phone itself. Okay, you'll feel it for a day. If Instagram is gone from your phone, you'll feel it for 2 days, maybe even a week. But after that week ends, you're not gonna miss Instagram that much anymore. You might be thinking like, oh, how am I gonna keep up with my friends and whatnot? All right, cool. Make it harder for yourself, and just log into Instagram on your laptop. And the reason why I say and I recommend doing that is because that's what I've been doing, and it kind of causes you to not have as easy of an access to Instagram. So therefore, you're just not spending as much time as you would be when you're on your phone. You can take your phone with you anywhere you go. It's always in your pocket, even when you go downstairs. But more than likely, you're not taking your laptop every single place that you go, right? Like, you're not taking your laptop to the movie theater to go watch a movie, but you're more than likely going to take your you're more than likely going to take your phone to the movies, right? So if you don't have those apps that you constantly check on your phone in the first place, then you're less likely to bring it out, and then you're less likely to obviously have those cheap dopamine hits as well. Solution number 2, try being alone for a bit. Right? Like, go on a walk, go on a run, maybe even go on a drive if that suits you, but don't have any entertainment with you. Don't have any stimulation at all. Okay? And that includes listening to podcasts and music. Just be completely alone in silence. Like, kind of, I guess, this is going to be very hippie, but be one with nature. Try it. It'll help. You'll be able to think about a lot of the things that have been bothering you, and, just the next steps that you should take in your life as well. And we typically don't end up doing that because we have so much stimulation already that we can just direct our focus somewhere else. So this will definitely have you focus inwardly rather than the outward external things that are going on. And like I said, it's going to be hard at first, but I promise you, your body and your mind and your brain are all going to adapt eventually. But it is a slow and grueling process. But I promise you, it is going to be worth it. You just need to go ahead and take that first step. I think I've rambled on long enough. Anyways, guys, try your best to limit your cheap dopamine intake. Obviously, try to avoid junk food as well. Limit your time playing video games, and especially stop mindlessly scrolling on social media apps, because I promise you that is the one thing that will absolutely destroy you as well. And yeah, this was episode number 49. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you haven't already, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as well. I make videos like this every single day, and thank you guys so much for the support. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Yusha, and I'm signing out. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.